In this video, we're going to focus on adding a new additional layer to our template here. So right now we have our stock, our purchase, our sales tab, and spoilage. So you probably understand right now how the stock control is starting to work out. And if you really look at it closely, you also will understand that we have now also all the data for the financials. So adding bookkeeping to the template would be a very wonderful move, and so we create a full circle, a very closed circle basically, because we are covering the stock amount. We're checking the stocks of our products, and we can now also start to track our financials relating to sales and the stocks purchase that we have. And we're going to focus on a very basic bookkeeping, but it's really exciting to understand that all these things are really matched together. Just everything is basically one connected part. And from bookkeeping you can go very deep. You can go to every different level, from tax to human resource, salaries, and all these kind of things. However, for now we will keep it focused on this scope of products and financials with the products. So the first thing what we have to do here is add a new tab called bookkeeping. So we have a sheet here, sheet number 8, and this one will be called bookkeeping. So once we have this, we can now start to create design, and maybe we just move it up here. And there are a few things that you have to consider. So right now what we have here is, with the bookkeeping, you can track all your sales, but it doesn't make any sense right now because we already have all the financials ready in the purchase and the sales tab. And maybe you haven't noticed, and if you do notice it here, I added up the text here because I realized that adding only the number will become a problem in the long run. So if you wonder, alright, how can I add a number here, or for example here, how do you add a number between here? Well, very simple. First of all, there's a very useful tool. It's called concatenate. Yes. So I use concatenate, and concatenate is just a fancy word for meaning adding two cell text in one. Yes, that's really it. Or adding multiple text and merge them together. It's a very fancy word just for connecting two pieces of text. So what I did was I add up the receipt ID. So I said receipt ID, and you can see here you have to do double quotations, make sure you have any quotations, and then here I put in the value. So I clicked on equals this, and then what happened is now it will show you like receipt ID. So if I would select this one, for example, you will see now and enter, you see that it starts to match here. Like that, exactly same, and then you just drag this, you get everything automatically, and then you just copy this and paste the values in here. Alright, so I'll delete this now because it is already done, so it's not necessary to do it. But if you haven't done that, this is a way to do it. So now we're going to focus on the bookkeeping. Bookkeeping and stock will be very similar because I don't believe we need to we can reuse the data here. So understand this. Reusing the data is very, very important. However, we don't need to duplicate the data in the bookkeeping, because normally in the bookkeeping you would track all the financials and you see the list of all the financials. However, we have that part already. We have it in the bookkeeping, or in the purchase and the sales tab. So what we should do in the bookkeeping is calculate how much we earn. Very simple. So it is exactly the same as the stock control here. Instead of tracking the quantity, we will track now the financials. Very simple. So let's start and do that. We're going to do it very simply. Step 1. Add up the items here. So we'll say here is which item do we have all. So for stock we have these products IDs here. And then now for bookkeeping we don't have them. Normally what you have with bookkeeping is the transaction ID, the transaction amount. In this case we don't have this as well, because we are going to go directly to the financial part, the last part. So we only have total expense or total sales, and we have total expenses. very straightforward. And then here, what we do here is we will do here the sum value, because we don't need to do the if, there's no if statement. And then we can go here to the sales tab and we can select all of these. And as we select them all, enter. And you can see here, this is our amount in sales. I'll just make this dollar and the total expense. This here sum, and then we have here the purchase tab. No, and then something is not right, so I need to do it again. Sum, we have the purchase tab. We select this here, going down, enter. All right, so we can see our total expense, and we need to add here additional, and we say plus our spoilage. So our spoilage is basically all the things that we lost. So we do here sum as well, then open, let's search for a spoilage tab, and there we can just select all of these. Apparently it's anyway 0, so add this. So you can see here our sales and our purchase is a huge difference. So if this is really correct, we can double check it here. I sum this 3,830. So 3,880, and we have here some additional. Well, let's see if this is all correct. We have 400. So let's double check here what's going on. Why do we have a conflicting value? Yes, or do we have a conflicting? No, sorry, this is correct. So it adds up 838. So this is correct. So it's increased as well by 400, which is correct because there was a spoilage of close to $400. Save this. Now we're done. So now we have here our first part. Of course, you can go more deeper now because now you can start to calculate. Net, and that is this minus that, or usually we do the total sales minus total expense. You can see now it's become negative, and you can change the design of that. There's all kind of options here. There's the symbols, but currency as well. You can say here minus and red. Yeah, red is also good to use color codes. Let's do that. All right. Can we change the currency here to dollar? Oh, okay, so it automatically goes back to things. So I have to select there the dollars, but that doesn't matter. So right now you can see we have this value here, and I'll just change that. I don't like that. I like to have a color. And I'll just search here for the dollar, and it's not Spanish, I think US dollar. English American dollar. United States. I'm not sure if it's Cherokee, but that's fine for now. Accounting or currency, that's the one we need. And we want this design in red. Alright. So you can see this is a negative dollar sign. Exactly what we need. So we are right now losing money. And well, basically it's not really losing money. This is right now the current affairs, because we still have stuff in stock. So we hadn't sold it. And this is really how you can do it. We can go even more deeper here later on, but this is really basics, because right now we have our purchase, we have all the things here, we have all the sales here, and if you would say, well, this is not really 100% true, you're right. We can go even deeper if you say, well, if you want, for example, you have inventory, you have maybe a computer you buy, you want to put it as well, you can put it in here. This purchase is not suitable because this is really for the stock only. This really controls the stock. Yes, for stock control. But if you want to have, for example, for your computer, you bought a computer, you bought a new window decoration for your shop, you bought a new a shelf or a new computer, a new phone, a new car for the office, for the computer, for your shop. All these kind of options as well you can add up, but you need to add a new tab, and that one, yes, that one can be included in the bookkeeping. Here you can do in the total expense. And that's really how you can add up here an accounting tool or bookkeeping tool, and then from there on you can go deeper. So this is how you do it. So if you like tips and tricks about Excel and you would like to improve your Excel skills, check out my Udemy courses about Excel. We have different topics, and you can just check them by clicking on the link below. You find all the links to every different course related to bookkeeping, stock control, invoicing, all these things needed for your business.